Wealth is commonly explained as the reward for intelligence. This explanation is comforting. It suggests that outcomes are proportional to cognitive ability. It implies that those who are wealthy are, on average, smarter than those who are not. This is not how wealth actually forms. Intelligence influences problem solving. It improves pattern recognition. It increases learning speed, but intelligence on its own does not determine who accumulates disproportionate economic rewards. Wealth does not concentrate around insight. It concentrates around seeing position. Those who control access, timing, distribution, or coordination capture value regardless of whether they are the most intelligent participants in the system. Intelligence helps individuals operate within systems. Position determines who extracts from them. Think of the economy not as a test of intelligence, but as a network of choke points. Every system has locations where decisions are aggregated, resources are routed, outcomes are finalized. These locations are positions. A position is not a job title. It is a structural role that sits upstream of value flow. Intelligence improves performance inside a role. Position determines whether performance is rewarded linearly or exponentially. Two individuals can generate equal insight. The one closer to distribution captures more value. Two individuals can solve the same problem. The one embedded in ownership captures the upside. Wealth emerges not from thinking better, but from moment being placed where thinking converts into claims. Intelligence is additive. Position is multiplicative. A highly intelligent individual operating without leverage can only convert cognition into output one unit at a time. A moderately intelligent individual embedded in a position of coordination can convert the work of thousands into personal gain. This is why engineers are paid salaries, owners accumulate equity, strategists receive bonuses tied to outcomes they did not personally execute. The system does not reward intelligence per se. It rewards control over aggregation. Intelligence increases marginal efficiency. Position determines scale. This is why societies contain brilliant researchers with modest wealth, average executives with extreme wealth. The difference is not insight. It is proximity to leverage. Understanding is not scarce. Control is. Markets do not compensate people for knowing how things work. They compensate people for deciding how things move. Knowing how supply chains function is valuable. Controlling the gateway through which supply must pass is more valuable. Understanding capital allocation is useful. Controlling capital allocation is decisive. This is why intermediaries outperform experts. This is why platforms outperform producers. This is why owners outperform operators. Intelligence explains efficiency. Position explains extraction. Those who occupy decisive nodes do not need superior insight. They need irreplaceability at the point of decision. Intelligence does not speak for itself. It is filtered through status. High-status individuals are assumed to be intelligent even when wrong. Low-status individuals must prove intelligence repeatedly even when right. This alters who is trusted, promoted, and funded. Ideas coming from high-status positions are interpreted as foresight. The same ideas from low-status positions are interpreted as noise. This is not bias in the emotional sense. It is an efficiency heuristic. Systems assume that intelligence correlates with prior success. So they assign credibility based on position, not content. As a result, intelligence compounds upward, not because it increases, but because it is recognized only where status already exists. Wealth inequality persists not because intelligence is unevenly distributed, but because positions are Access to decision-making, ownership, and coordination determines who captures surplus. Intelligence improves survivability. Position determines accumulation. This is why wealth remains stable across generations, even as individual intelligence regresses toward the mean. The system is not selecting for smarter people. It is selecting for people already inside the architecture of reward. Wealth is not the outcome of thinking better. It is the outcome of being situated where outcomes are claimed. If intelligence created wealth, the most intelligent people would dominate every economic tier. They do not. Instead, wealth clusters around individuals who control timing, access, and narrative. This is not corruption, it is mechanics. Wealth forms where influence intersects with inevitability. Those in position do not need to outperform, they need to remain necessary. Economic systems reward those who reduce uncertainty for others. Position holders stabilize outcomes. They decide which projects continue, which actors gain access, which failures are absorbed. This stabilizing function grants them bargaining power. Wealth accumulates around those who make systems predictable, not those who make them optimal. Optimization benefits the system. Stability benefits the position holder. Intelligence optimizes, position stabilizes, markets reward stability. Those without position bear downside risk. Those with position distribute it. A worker risks time and income. An investor risks capital but spreads exposure. A platform risks reputation while externalizing labor. Position allows risk to be reframed as optionality. Failures are absorbed. Successes are claimed. This asymmetry has little to do with intelligence. It has everything to do with structural insulation. Those protected from downside can afford experimentation. Those exposed to downside must optimize for survival. Over time, upside concentrates around the insulated. Position holders do not merely operate under rules. They influence which rules matter. What counts as value shifts based on who benefits. Metrics are adjusted. Narratives are reframed. Failures are reclassified as investments. This is why certain losses are forgiven. Certain mistakes are contextualized. Certain behaviors are rewarded only when performed by the right people. Intelligence is evaluated after the fact. Position determines how evaluation occurs. The system does not ask whether an outcome was smart. It asks whether the person involved is seen worth keeping. Once acquired, position attracts resources that preserve it. Capital seeks safety, networks seek influence, institutions seek continuity. This creates feedback loops. Those in position receive better information, earlier access, greater tolerance for error. This compounds advantage without requiring increasing intelligence. Meanwhile, those outside position are evaluated more harshly. Their margin for error shrinks. Their opportunities narrow. The gap widens not through brilliance, but through differential forgiveness. Wealth is not distributed according to intelligence. It is distributed according to structural relevance. Those who occupy indispensable roles extract value regardless of cognitive superiority. This is why mediators outperform creators, owners outperform builders, gatekeepers outperform innovators. The system does not reward those who understand it best. It rewards those it cannot easily remove. Wealth is the residue of staying in position long enough for extraction to feel normal. Intelligence may get you noticed. Position determines whether notice converts into claims. Wealth is not the prize for insight. It is the byproduct of placement.